What is up, guys? This is Dances with Baron with my first video for League of Legends, and basically my channel is gonna be just mainly jungle. I'm gonna have my main be jungle, and then second either be top or mid or maybe bot. I don't usually play support, so just usually top or mid for my other roles. But basically this video right here, I'm playing Ekko Jungle, and I basically just want to show you guys kind of how to start the game off on a good note. Start it off quickly, getting your team first blood, and just making it so you can snowball the early game really well, and just so your team has that advantage going ahead. There's no tilting, your team hasn't messed up yet, you guys are doing well. So hopefully this will help you guys not have to go to those late games where, you know, if one person dies, it's basically game over. You can just kind of take the game into your own hands, take the game into control, and you can win. So we all want to climb the ladder, and hopefully if you're playing jungle, you can use just some of these tips in order to do that. So first, I like to, if your mid laner's not really watching, I like to just ward, just in case. They don't have that good of an invade team right now, but obviously you just want to make sure that they're not coming in. I've had a bunch of games where the mid laner's just kind of sitting at the mid tower, and then we just get destroyed. So obviously don't want that to happen. For Ekko, I like starting at Gromp, just so you're able to go to the blue buff first. You can spam your abilities, things like that. You also want to start with his W, just so you have your shield, and also it does a lot more damage when the monsters are at low health. And then after Gromp, I usually like to go to the wolves. Actually, I see a lot of people go straight to blue, but I've found that if I go straight to blue just from the Gromp, I just get destroyed. Like, my health bar is absolutely gone. So I like to go to the wolves first, and then go to blue. See, I didn't really lose that much health. I'm still maybe 80%. And then I'm going to go over to blue and try to do my best to clear that. So I'm going to pop a pot. And the good thing about doing a camp before you do the buff is that you have your smite. So my smite's coming up, just came up, so I can use it on this camp. I don't really need the extra mana because I'm just about to get blue, obviously, but it just helps. So I'm at, like, okay, half health, about to pop a pot. So, and I'm level 3. Everyone else in the game is level 2 except for mid laner. So I'm gonna quick go bot, pop my stun, go straight for the 80 kill. So he flashes, still gets stunned, and we're gonna get first blood there. It's like, it's so good to go bot lane, and I'm displaying this. So this is a 3v2, and we have a Soraka. This E honestly is not very smart. I drop my stun and get the stun on both, and then we're just gonna clean up. So that's 2 kills for our Twitch and 1 for me. So I'm just gonna kind of explain real quick. So after you get that level 3, after that blue buff, you're level 3. Pretty much, you're higher than all the you're higher than the bot lane. Okay, they're still level 2 because they have to split the experience. So if you go down to the bot lane, you have the advantage on them. Okay, it's so early in the game. It was around 3 minutes that they're not even gonna think about placing a ward in low elo. At least they're not even gonna think about it. The Bard didn't even think about it at all. And if they did place a ward before, like, minion spawn, things like that, it's not going to be up in time. It takes forever for your first ward to go on to get back off cooldown. See, I placed a ward, and remember I placed a ward up there to make sure that they weren't invading, and mine is still not up. So if they placed a ward, they don't have it up yet, and most players at low elo are not even going to think about placing it yet because the jungler is still doing whatever, okay? So if you could just go straight for bottom, especially with Ekko, that CC, that shield and stun, it's going to be so good for you guys. Pretty sure, yeah, I burned Jin's heal and flash and Bard's summoners, everything. And, you know, our Twitch just got 2 kills. He's going to have a crazy advantage. And bot lane is a really good lane to get ahead, because if bot lane's ahead, they can just continue to keep killing him, and they're going to even get farther ahead. Twitch turns into a monster later this game. And that's basically just because he can get that start. Now, if you're in the other, if you're Master Yi in this situation, you don't. Okay, if you're any jungler trying to get a counter gank, you see the other jungler has ganked, and they get a kill, blow all the summoners. You're only left with a Bard who's half health, with the exhaust is already up. You're not gonna want to go into that, especially when the other team has a Soraka who can just heal me. Like, I was low. If Soraka wasn't there, he maybe would have got a kill on me, but it's just not gonna work out in his favor unless I really misplay some. It's not even possible. So at that point, he's just gonna want to back off because there's no way they're gonna 2v3 us. So I see at this point I have 900, almost 1,000 gold, so I'm doing pretty good for myself. I'm just gonna real quick take this camp, and then I think I end up going back, so I'm just gonna quick take this and then go back. So at this point we're doing really well. We already have 3 kills, so I'm just gonna work on my items. Runic Echoes is really good on any AP jungler right now, especially in this meta, so you're going to want to go for that on Ekko. And for the masteries, I actually took, shoot, what is that called? Whatever the mastery is, Strength of the Ages, where you get the permanently increased health. I just think getting 300 extra health is really good, and you know, just like so far I have 40 extra health. I'm gonna get 50. I just think that's really good at this point, and most junglers right now are taking that. So after I go back, I'm gonna go up to my topside jungle, take my red buff. At low elos, maybe they'll try and come into my jungle if they see you bot. After you took all this and go down bot, they might try to come up and take your red. In low elos, they might not. They'll just let it go. And obviously I killed Yi, but if the Yi wasn't there, you're going to want to either race to your red or go back right after that level 3 gank down bot and then run to your red. Because a good jungler will see you bottom, and let's say Yi's right here. He finishes his clear, and then he sees you bottom, so he's gonna run right up there and get your red. That's what, you know, a good jungler would do. I don't know why my camera's off. Crap, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Just gonna go back a little bit. So, yeah, after that level 3 gank bot, you're gonna want to go back and run to your red, or just run to your red straight there. Just so the other jungler can't counter it if you don't see him. Then I see top is getting pushed in really hard, so after red buff, I'm going to try to go up there. and see what I can do. So I'm gonna ping and let him know. A lot of players at low elo, like a lot of top players, mid players, whatever, they're not gonna realize that you're coming, so you're gonna want to make sure that you ping. So for that play, I really wanted to get the stun off. I don't even think I needed a flash right there, but I just did it just to secure the kill. But I mean, basically, that's a really good spot up there, like right here, because if they're over here, they can't see you. You're kind of like hidden in the fog of war. It's just a really good spot. And go back to me here. I was trying to look for something mid. Maybe I can pull off a stun and then Ari can charm, chain our CC. I don't want to stay here for too long, so I just say, okay, I'm gonna try it. She sees me, you know, gets out. It's not a big deal. And at this point, I'm getting kind of close to finishing my Runic Echoes item, so I'm just going to farm a little bit more. But at this point, our Twitch has picked up 2 more kills. Basically, that's all from that snowball bot lane from that that gank that I did level 3. So if I didn't gank level 3 down there, I don't know if he still would have gotten those kills or whatever, but at this point, like, our bot lane is fed. He has 54 CS versus 32 of Jin's, and he's got 2 D-Blades, and our Twitch is just way ahead. So if you can get bot ahead, like, it's very hard for them to come back unless your bot really misplays. So, and like, it kind of depends what jungler you're playing, but for the most part, like that gank that I did up top with Zinzao right here, you want to let him get the kill just because it gives him more of an advantage over his lane opponent. Like, it's like that bottom. So if I got all 3 kills down there for that level 3 gank, I mean, it's good for us, obviously, but it's even better if all those kills go on to Twitch and he can just buy like a freaking BF sword at like 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Because then he's going to be so far ahead and it's just impossible for them to do anything. So right here I kind of get on LeBlanc a little bit, pop her passive, and I see if I can make another play bot, because I see Yee's coming. So I'm on my way, but they start to back off because they see me on this ward. But you want to always make sure, if the enemy jungler is ganking, you obviously want to see if you can get there and counter jungle. But like, let's say Yi went in, they were both super low, got those 2 kills. Like, you really don't want to engage there if it's 2 versus 1 or 3 versus 1, unless all of them are super low. You know what I mean? Like, the dumbest thing to do, and I see a lot of junglers do this, when the enemy jungle ganks and they get like 2 kills, whatever, they kill your top laner, and they're both maybe half health, and let's say it's top, like, and your top laner is just like, oh my gosh, they've been camping me, can you please do something, jungle? The worst thing that you can do is just run in there, think you're gonna get both of the kills back, prove this guy wrong who's talking crap to you, and things like that, because most of the time, if they're good players and it's 2v1, you're gonna die. You know, unless you can really outplay them, it's not gonna work out. So you really just want to play smart and not do things just because, you know, your top laner is raging at you for not ganking enough and things like that. So hopefully you'll be able to play kind of around that. And at this point, Mundo just randomly goes missing, and if the top randomly goes missing, you're going to want to check the Rift Herald. And I see that they're there, so I'm calling Xin, put down my shield, and I get the stun on both. And I'm going straight for Yi. I don't really know what Xin was necessarily going for there. I don't know. He had his ult, so so I'd say probably the best thing to do for Xin at that point is walk right here. They're both in here, they're stunned. If Xin ulties right here, it's gonna knock both of them into the pit even more, and it's basically gonna be impossible for them to get out because we're gonna be able to stick to them. Obviously, they're either gonna have to flash out. Mundo had his flash. He didn't have his flash, so that's a guaranteed kill. Anyways, if the top or mid laner just randomly, leaves, and they're not like really low or anything, you want to always check the Rift Herald, especially if the other team's jungler has Devoured, because they're gonna want to go straight for that Rift Herald. It gives them 5 stacks, because they're trying to get their sated as fast as they can. So if a top laner or a mid laner just randomly goes missing, they might be helping with the Rift Herald, so you want to make your way over there. Plus, it does like a lot of damage, especially at this level. I mean, it's level, they were like maybe 7 or 8 at that point. That thing actually does a lot of damage. So if you can catch them at the Rift Herald trying to do the Rift Herald, as you saw there, like, we could have potentially killed them. Maybe we kind of misplayed a little bit, but we could have easily double killed them. So you want to make sure always to do that. So I'm kind of running around farming a little bit. We just got Dragon, and at this point, I'm pretty. At this point, I know I'm pretty strong, and as Ekko, with your shield and ult, like, you have so much survivability. So I'm not necessarily scared at this point to go in and fight, 0-1 LeBlanc and things like that. So, but you always want to be smart, obviously, and just make sure that you don't throw. Like, at this point, the game is honestly in the bag for us. Like, our Twitch is 4-0, Ari is 2-0, I'm 2-0. This game is basically in the bag if we don't throw. So at this point, we're just going to want to get objectives, not play stupid, just get the turrets and get the game done, Because way too many people, what they'll do at this point, Twitch will go in, invisible, try to 1v5 the team, get killed, give them the shutdown gold, the whole game starts going back to them. So, almost what's happening right here. We're being way too aggressive. And see how this Twitch just thinks he can destroy the whole world just because he's 4-0? Like, that's what's going to happen. So you really just have to be careful. So, I don't remember what happens here. Oh yeah, I think it's nice. But you really just want to be careful on being too cocky once you get ahead a little bit. I think I die here, but you just can't be too cocky once you get ahead a little bit. So like when you snowball, obviously you want to snowball, but you can't get too cocky and throw the game. Like, it happens so much in low elo. Just tell your teammates you want to just go for the objectives, don't worry about the kills, and just get the game done. You know what I mean? So at this point, I'm just going to speed the game up a little bit. Go back to me. And always, obviously, when you see you want to keep up in levels. as much as you can. So like I saw I'm level 9 here. I'm like, okay, I need to farm a little bit, get my levels up. And this he tries to 1v1 me for some reason. And basically you want to see who's doing the most damage on their team for itemization. Obviously Yi's going to do a lot of damage. He's not sated yet, but he'll get there. Yi's going to do damage, and I think Jin actually does a decent amount of damage too. And I just really like Iceborne Gauntlet on Ekko in the first place, just because it gives him just CDR is so good for him, and I really like the slow that he gets too. So at this point we're doing exactly what we're supposed to do. Our team is grouping, we're going to push down the objectives. I'm up top. I'm up top pushing as well, so we're putting that pressure on him. Constantly putting the pressure on him, not throwing. That's just like the main focus, is to not get too crazy and do something stupid. So for the most part, I'm just going to speed this game up. I'm going to get my blue. And then we're going to all group up bot and try to make some plays, get the turret down. And yeah, I basically kind of just went through what I wanted to in this video, how to snowball the early game up. And I mean, we're winning at 20 minutes, so this is pretty quick game. If we grouped a little earlier, we honestly could have won at like maybe 16. But we're just taking everything down, then moving along. Doing really well. And this is what happens. This is what happens when you get a Twitch super fed. He's 5-1, 5-1-4. He's got a bunch of items. This is what happens when you snowball the early game for your team. You get this easy one. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. You basically get everything. And they surrendered. So there you go. 21-minute game. Basically all off the level 3 gank bot and the 1 gank top. Basically snowballed the entire game. So what you do 3 minutes into the game can decide if you win or lose. So you definitely want to make sure that you can just snowball the lanes. I really like going bot lane first, you know, after you hit that level 3. So just real quick, like if you started on the other side, so let's say I started on this side, then I'm gonna go. Oh, I can actually move this. Wow. You're gonna want to start here at Krugs, move up to Raptors, and then go down to red. So you're going to smite the Krugs, kill those, go up to Raptors, then go to red. Then you're going to smite red, because it's just going to come off cooldown. So you're going to be almost full health. And then if you come through here, kind of swoop around, make sure they don't see you, swoop around, they're not going to have this warded, or this warded at this low elo. And then you're just going to swoop in, get the free kills. It's so free, guys. Like, it's there all the time, especially in low elo. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. It's my first video ever, so if you guys want to put in the comment section what you think I could do to improve, things like that, just let me know how this ganking path works for you. Yeah, just let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.